Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Chris. Fragrances are expensive. I think we all can agree that in the past, 3-4 years, prices of pretty much everything has skyrocketed, fragrances included, and I think most of us or many of us are looking for fragrances that smell good, but we don't want to pay $300, $400, $500 for them. And so I have lots of fragrances. Now this isn't a dupe video. A few of these are impressions. Some of these are original creations that smell very, very similar to something much more expensive. So I want to let you know up front, but I have so many fragrances that do the trick. They do the job for much less. And because they're so similar to something very, very expensive, a lot of these are not going to be staying because I don't need fragrances that are that similar in my collection. So with that, I'm going to get started. I'm going to get started with a fragrance that I think is super duper polarizing. It is a fragrance by the House of Creed, and Creed fragrances are super expensive. And funny story with this perfume, I was in Houston. I was at the Creed boutique because you can smell everything. And I sprayed myself, this was a while ago, I sprayed myself with Aventus for Her. I smelled everything but walked out of the store while wearing Aventus for Her. And as I'm walking down this very large mall, I could hear someone kind of calling out behind me, ran up to me, tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Excuse me, ma'am, can you tell me what you're wearing? I'd love to get that for my girlfriend." I said, "Yeah, I just sprayed it in the boutique right there, the Creed boutique. It's called Aventus for Her." Now, he probably went up there and got sticker shock. But if you really, and let me tell you, I have to be in the mood for this fragrance. This fragrance is like Boss B. For some reason, I think of like a very, I think of a music exec with attitude when I think of this fragrance, like someone who doesn't care if they smell loud and obnoxious. They're in your face kind of a person. And that's kind of Creed Aventus for Her. It's a very loud, fruity musk. I think this has black currant and lots of citruses, orange and lemon and green apple, and lots of punch you in the face musk. I don't wear it that much, but let me tell you, when I wear it, I'll put a couple sprays on, and when I wear it, people around me, they really like it. They tell me I smell great, but it's super expensive. Little did I know that I had a fragrance that I had for years in my collection that was so similar. It's very, very similar. And some of you guys might like it even better. I think it's a slightly toned down version of Aventus for Her, and it's Quasamat Rasana by Rasasi. This has lots of citruses. When I smell it, it kind of makes my mouth water, very tangy. So I want to say it has bergamot, and this probably has green apple as well. Lots of that musk. It is very, very similar to Aventus for Her, but the musk isn't, this has musk. This is very strong, but it's just a more toned down version. And it has something a little bit more earthy and a little bit more green, and it's probably the cypriol in here. So I do think that there's a lot of similarities. A lot of you guys might like it even better than the very loud original Creed. And what you will like for sure is the big difference in price. I think I got this like 4 or 5 years ago for $35, where Creed for Her, Aventus is much more expensive. And I did want to say, I do have feminine leaning fragrances, I have masculine leaning fragrances, I have unisex fragrances, I have them all over the map. A perfume that I absolutely love, it's going to be a lifer for me. I love the Christian Dior line. I love so many fragrances in the Christian Dior line. Unfortunately, I like a lot of the fragrances that are in their, I guess their luxury designer line. One of them is Gris Dior, a beautiful kind of a modern take on a chypre. It has, citruses in the top. It has oak moss. There is patchouli and rose, among other notes. It's very, I just love this perfume. And even though some people might think it leans a little bit, has more of a kind of a fragrance of the past or a vintagey flair, I think it's a modern take on a chypre, which a lot of people think is an old-fashioned style of a scent. The funny thing is, I've worn this to work, and most of my comments come from people who are in their 20s and 30s. So anyways, it's expensive. It's very expensive. And I accidentally stumbled across this perfume by the Woods collection, and it's called Eden. And oh my gosh, I was just like not trolling. I was just playing around in Fragrance Net or Joma Shop, and I found this entire collection, and I bought several. I bought 3, and 2 of them you're going to see in this video. And when I smell this, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so close to Greedor. I think that they have the same notes. They are very, very similar. I wore them to work 2 days in a row, side by side. Neither one of these is a powerhouse. I got this for like $29, and it's a little bit, I would say this might be a touch more citrusy, maybe, and it might be a touch more light wearing. Again, neither of these is going to last all day unless you coat yourself, spray your clothes. Then this Greedor does last all day. Eden by the Woods collection is a little bit softer and doesn't last that long. I would say maybe by hour 4 it gets really quiet, but there's a tenfold difference in price. So if you're looking for Greedor, you're looking for something close, very close, and you don't mind that it only lasts 4 to 5 hours, but it's easy on the pocketbook, check out Eden. Okay, I'm going to get this one out of the way. I've shown this in the past, and actually, I think I grabbed the wrong affordable option. Anyways, a benchmark vanilla musk fragrance that smells gourmand to me is Tihota. And Francis Kurkdjian is the nose behind this fragrance. And I don't wear it anymore. Maybe because Vanilla Musk by Niemann, I think I've been through 3 bottles. Smells so incredibly similar. It is an oil version of the perfume. They do carry the perfume, the Eau de Parfum, which wears lightly in my opinion. I used to have that. They are so similar. And maybe because this is so much less expensive, I wear it so much more. Again, this is the white musk. I grabbed the wrong bottle. I think I have 3 or 4 of these. And I should have known better because my vanilla musk is a bigger bottle. But I get mine up at Whole Foods. They carry it at Ulta. And it's so good. You can wear it on its own. You can layer it with something if you're going to wear another vanilla. Or you can use it in lieu of the very expensive Tihota. So very good, affordable alternative. A fragrance that was marketed to men, and I heard about this from, his name is Dave, and he's over at Callie's Groom Room. I'll link his channel below. One of the few men that I follow, he's a hoot. He showed this fragrance on his video, I want to say like a year or 2 ago. And there used to be some of them that worked at our hospital. He was a transporter. This was years ago. I remember telling him how good he smelled. I asked him what he was wearing, and he told me it was a fragrance by Terry Mugler called Amen. It was like Havan or something like that. I remember committing that to memory. I never got around to purchasing it, but when I think Dave said this smelled very, very similarly, I jumped on it and bought it. It's called Insurrection II. I don't even know who it's made by. I think, I don't have the cap. I think this was like $20. It smells really, really good. It reminds me very much of what my friend who worked at the hospital smelled like. So it's probably a pretty good impression or something in the same vein for a fragrance that has been long discontinued. I should probably look up the notes, but it's in this profile that I love to smell on men, particularly at night, date night, or in the cold weather. You know, this honeyed, tobacco, spicy genre with maybe some tonka, vanilla. It smells very, very good. So if you are missing your Aman, you know, Amen, Aman, that flanker, I think it was called Havan, New Havan. This one is fabulous. And I had forgot that I had it. I had it somewhere in my closet. I found it, pulled it out, put it on Pat's shelf. And about a week ago, he was in his office. I said, Pat, you smell so good. What is that? He said, it's that new bottle you put in my closet. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that. It smells so good. So Insurrection II. Thank you, Dave Callis from Callis Groom Room. If you are a guy or a girl, if you are anybody, but specifically if you're a guy and looking for a content creator who's a lot of fun, I highly recommend you checking out his channel. Okay, One of my favorite fragrances for spring and summer, the hot weather, is this flanker by Burberry. This is Burberry For Her. This is the Eau de Toilette. It's the only one I have in that line. And I just like it. It's a green version. It kind of smells like the bottle looks. It has pear, has a little bit of strawberries, black currant, some light florals. I think it's peony. It smells kind of like a peony. Might have rose, but this is such an easy reach for me. You can get it on the gray market, and you can even get smaller bottles. I think I got mine on a Sephora sale, and you can get the smaller bottles for well under $100. Even with this new shrinkflation, they're still affordable in the smaller bottle. But a fragrance that's very similar, and you can get for like $30, is this one that I show all the time, Kate Spade, New York. I smelled this on a coworker and bought it right away. So they're very similar with some small differences. This one is the strawberry version to this one. This is like, you know, black currant and pear, and this is the strawberry version. This has background florals. It does smell pink, I would say peony or rose, but a beautiful strawberry fragrance that's year-round because it has this cashmeran note. So as it dries down, it's not quite warm, but it's like a blanket, like a cashmere blanket with strawberries. Very light wearing, very work appropriate, and fantastic on the pocketbook. This perfume I've showed before. It's the last time I'm ever going to show it because I do not need it. This fragrance that cost me around $50 does the work of, bottle down, 3 very expensive fragrances. Now, I have Delina, the original, that I never wear. It was never my favorite. I don't know why I still have it. I just can't seem to get rid of it. I have Delina Exclusive that I don't wear anymore. I haven't worn this in over a year. I used to wear this all the time, like 2 years ago. A very sweet vanillic take on the original, which had too much rhubarb for me. I liked it in the dry down. The dry down was okay, but it was a little too bitter. And Atomic Rose, my favorite of the bunch. Man, this is a sexy, peppery, ambery rose that has a terrific, oh my gosh, my bottle's falling apart, terrific dry down. This perfume right here by Swiss Arabian Rose 01 is those 3 in one. So you get the 3 fragrances in one. It smells like Delina without the rhubarb. It smells very similar to Delina Exclusive without all that vanilla. And it smells like it has a little bit of the pepperiness of Atomic Rose. So this is the last time you will see this because I do not need it. But for $50, it is one of the best fragrances in this whole video. If you like fragrances that have that DNA and you kind of want the best of all 3 worlds, in my opinion. So a terrific 3-in-1. Okay, one of the more frustrating things about being a perfume lover is falling in love with a fragrance and then it becomes discontinued and then you have to pay hundreds and hundreds of bottles, you know, on the secondhand market to get something that you love. Now, 4 or 5 years ago, I used to love Vert Delicious by Dior, and I had a bottle. I don't have that bottle anymore, and now if you want to buy it, you're paying out the nose. So if you're looking for a really good alternative, something that I think is the closest that I've ever smelled, and I do think that this is an impression or an attempt to dupe, is called Frenetic Délicieuse by Amir. So this one to me is, so this is almost a spot on dupe. A little bit of differences, you know, it's that tonka, lavender, cacao, almond, almost has a cherry nuance fragrance. To me, this one is not as powdery. So if you didn't like the original, you thought the original was too powdery, and you're looking for a less powdery option, this one is good. Almost smells a little bit more, has a little bit more cherry almond nuance. Okay, a fragrance that I bought right when it came out because I'm a lover of citrusy gourmands and I paid top dollar for is Acro Bake. This to me smells like a lemon cupcake with a whipped cream top and maybe sprinkled crystallized sugared lemon rind that was, you know, soaking in rum. It's got all those delicious notes, and it's really yummy. The lemon in here is very tart. It's very rind-like, but it is softened up by a lot of the boozy notes in here. I'm almost positive it has, it has vanilla, it has whipped cream. It's very, very foody, and a terrific option, a terrific alternative. And sometimes I wonder why I didn't. I used to have that one, but there was too much overlap, is Devotion by Dolce & Gabbana. And that one has a little bit more of an orange twist to it, whereas this one is clearly in the lemon rind, lemon zest department. That one smelled a little bit more orange-like. So if you're looking for an affordable option to bake, Devotion is great. There's an even more affordable alternative that I found at Bath & Body Works. It's called Loyal to You. I think this has the exact same notes. I'm not wearing my glasses, so this has sweet lemon blossom, orange flower, and vanilla and marshmallow. So it has a lot of the same notes. They do make a perfume. I spritzed the perfume. They had it at one of my Bath & Body locations, not the other. And it smells very, very similar to Acro Bake and Devotion. So it's an even more affordable version. So it's an affordable version of an affordable version. So if you like Devotion, but that was still out of your price range, Bath & Body Works has Loyal to You, and I bought the whole line. So I have the bubble bath, and I had the body cream. I didn't buy the perfume, don't need to, because I already have that covered. But honestly, had I not purchased this, or if this was on my wish list and I smelled Loyal to You, I would take this off my wish list and save myself over $200. So a very good, affordable alternative. Okay, a fragrance that I love, a fragrance that my friends love when I wear it, but a perfume that's expensive and has been a little bit hard to find. You can't find this everywhere. Is called Damask by Ormonde Jayne. This is a blackcurrant rose fragrance. It's quite beautiful. It shares a lot of similarities with Delina with some important differences. This one does not have that screechy rhubarb note, and to me, the rose is a little bit jammier. So it's a sweet, jammy rose with blackcurrant, and blackcurrant is green and a little bit bitter, which offsets that, that jammy rose. Something very zingy and green and fresh about this. I love it, but again, it's quite hard to find. So when I smelled this one by Monday Rose, I knew immediately, oh my gosh, this reminds me of several perfumes kind of combined in one. And it did remind me a lot of Damask, which can be expensive. This one, full retail, I think is just under $100, and when it goes on sale, or you can get it at the gray market, is even more affordable. But Monday Rose is a beautiful, I find it a very happy, very invigorating, a very youthful rose fragrance. It smells very pink. It has pink flowers. I'm gonna say rose. I know it has peony probably. It also has lychee. So there are some similarities to Delina. And I think it has Lily of the Valley, but whereas this one has lychee, Ormonde Jayne Damask has that blackcurrant. So there are a lot of similarities. It's not a dead-on one-to-one kind of a thing, but I think if you like Damask and you had a difficult time finding it, you would probably like Monday Rose. I think Monday Rose is very underrated and a terrific perfume, particularly when it's on sale. It's significantly less than the other fragrances I talk about. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite recent pickups is this one right here. It's called Bobo. I did a sample swap with a friend of mine that I met on YouTube or on social media, and she sent me a bottle or a vial of Jardin d'Amalfi by Creed. Unfortunately, I fell head over heels in love with that fragrance, and it's in the taller bottle that has the gold applique. Those, fragrances in that line, I mean, Creed is already expensive, but when you get in those bottles, it's crazy. It's $300 to $500, and it has been on my wish list forever, waiting for a good deal, waiting for a half off deal somewhere. When I got my nose on Bobo, I took Jardin d'Amalfi off my wish list. I did not need it anymore because I had Bobo. Are they a one-to-one? Probably not, but they are incredibly close. And it was the first thing I thought of when I smelled this perfume. So a very, very citrusy forward, it's like lemon, a little bit of orange blossom neroli fragrance, very, very fresh. I would say fresh, clean. So it's fresh with those citruses, and it's clean because it has a little bit of a soapy vibe, particularly when it dries down. It's a little bit more soapy than I would say Jardin d'Amalfi. My memory, but that one disappeared pretty quickly. So, oh my gosh, if you were like me, had Jardin d'Amalfi on your wish list, or you love that orange blossom, that really, really fresh orange blossom neroli type of a fragrance, you love citruses, and you don't mind a little bit of a clean soapiness in the dry down, I'm going to go through this and buy me a big bottle. Bobo is where it's at. A fragrance that was on my wish list forever, like years. I never pulled the trigger because it was from the Christian Dior line, and it was in their elevated line, their luxury line. And for the price and for the kind of the poor lasting power, I never bought it. I only had the small minis. So this is Rouge Trafalgar, and this is the intense version, the extreme version. I had the smaller bottle of the original, went through that. But it's a really juicy, delicious, fruity fragrance, like raspberry, blackberry, strawberry, maybe a little bit of cherry. My mouth is watering. So yummy, delicious. And it was always on my wish list, but I was just hesitant to purchase it. Now, it came off my wish list when I smelled Rose Era for the first time. Are they a one-to-one? No. But this kind of scratches that itch. This is a little bit more of a floral version. This is strawberry, rose, maybe a little bit of peony. Really reminds me of the original Rouge Trafalgar with a little bit more soapiness. It's a little bit more dewy, and it has a little bit more soapiness. It's a little bit more floral. And not quite as fruity, but this one is well under $100, and this is around $300 for a full bottle. So it was kind of a no-brainer, and I just think this is such an easy reach. This will be an easy reach for me in the summer. I love these bottles. You don't have to worry about them. I'm just obsessed with those magnetic caps. You can toss it in your purse. You can take it anywhere. You can kind of re-spritz, and you don't have to worry about it, the cap coming off and spilling in your purse. Love it. Okay, we're getting down to the end. So a fragrance profile that Picky Pat loves. He loves citrusy, woody fragrances. And I had a sample of Tiger by Bulgari maybe a year and a half ago, and we both loved it. I thought that smelled really good. I purchased, and then later on when they had a sale, there was a nice sale, I got Vibrato by Sospiro, which is beautiful. This is a citrusy, woody fragrance, probably has grapefruit, maybe birch, maybe pine, maybe a little bit of cedar. I'm going to take the pine away. This smells more like birch or cedar. Lots of somewhat exotic, spicy citruses. So a while ago, I've shown this before, a while ago, I got Junoon Oud. It was not quite for me. I ended up giving it to Pat, and oh my goodness. So it's I think this is more similar to Tiger than it is to Vibrato. It is, in my opinion, to my nose, it's not a one-to-one. I think they are very, very similar, but this is the Ambroxan bomb to Bulgari's Tiger, and to a lesser extent Vibrato. Like Mr. Picky Pat literally ruined a dinner when he sprayed this like 2 or 3 times. He's an undersprayer like I am. He's even more of an undersprayer. I was literally choking in the car. I was choking at the restaurant. I'm like, Pat, oh my gosh, please, please, if you're going to spray that one time underneath your clothes. I mean, if you like monster scents and you want something similar to Tiger or again Vibrato, and you don't mind Ambroxan, I'm very, very sensitive to Ambroxan now. This one is a good pickup for $50 just for the love of Pete. Don't go to town and wear it out to dinner because you're gonna blast everyone else around you. So I'm gonna wash my hands after I touch that bottle. It's gonna be on me. But anyways, literally, when Pat sprays this and he is on the other side of the house, I yell out to him like, "Are you wearing Junoon Oud?" He's like, "Yes, I am." But anyways, I prefer Vibrato, but unfortunately there is a massive difference in price. And if you're not, again, I got this on a good sale. If you're not getting it on sale, it's not very pocketbook friendly. One of the best fragrances in this video, by far, and it might be better than the original, is the one I'm about to show you. I'm very excited. So Rouge Malachite gets all the love in that Giorgio Armani line, like the luxury Giorgio Armani line. Most of us have heard about it. I frankly prefer Vert Malachite more, although I don't wear it anymore. I haven't worn it in a year. This is a very buttery, ambery, thick, heavy, lily, ylang-ylang, tropical fragrance. Let me tell you, this smells expensive. If I was a bride and I had a, what do you call that? A destination wedding, I'd think long and hard about wearing this one, or if I went to a destination wedding, it would be like this or Ylang and Gold. They would be in the running. Very, very thick and dense. Almost sometimes too heavy to wear in the summer. Again, this one was a complete surprise to me. This one is also by that line. I think this one is by the Woods collection, but it's in a different bottle. This is called Secrets. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what the notes are. Again, I found it by accident. This is the more wearable version of Vert Malachite. It's like a less heavy take on that DNA. It is absolutely beautiful. And this one is really hard to find, runs in the $300 range. I got this one, Secrets, for $30. So if you were looking for almost a dead-on dupe or replacement, look no further. Secrets is stunning and one of my favorite finds of this year with regards to, affordable options. And the last one, okay, and so one of the last ones I'm gonna go with, this is a true story. About a month ago, one of my friends at work, a coworker, her name is Andrea. I know she likes vanillas because when I wear vanillas, like a fruity vanilla, she's all over it. She's like, "Ooh, you smell so good." She loves Celeste when I wear that. She loves Ebhar. She loves that one. She walked into my office about a month ago and I was like, "Oh my gosh, Andrea, you smell amazing. I know what you're wearing. Can I guess what you're wearing?" And she said, "Sure." And I said, "You're wearing Althaïr, aren't you?" Or Althaïr by Perfumes de Marly. And she looked at me like I had two heads. She's like, "No, it's a lotion." I'm like, "What, the lotion for Althaïr?" And she said, "No, it's a lotion from Bath and Body Works." She said it's called Vanilla Romance. I almost fell out of my chair. This literally smells almost exactly like Althaïr, to the point of I thought she was wearing Althaïr. Even more incredibly, we worked together that entire day. And every time she came into my office, I'm like, "Did you just put on more lotion? You smell so good." She goes, "No, I put it on at 7 o'clock in the morning. This was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon." I could smell her as if she just applied it. I said, "Andrea, is that the body lotion or the body cream?" She said, "It's the body lotion." So for $15, you can smell delicious, like a $350 bottle of fragrance. So Althaïr is a spicy, ambery vanilla with cinnamon and praline, and it has a little touch of a floral, I want to say orange blossom. So that day, I went out to my local Bath and Body Works. I did not know they were having one of those $5 body care sales. I literally left with like 2 baskets full. I bought this in the whole line. I've got the body lotion, I've got the body cream, I've got the bubble bath. Man, I left with a lot of wonderful things. But this is amazing. So if you have Althaïr on your list, you can take it off. You don't even need the perfume spray in this. The lotion will do you. You will smell like you sprayed perfume. So one of the best in this group, so I think I'm going to stop at this point. My mouth is getting dry. Let me get my Coke. Okay, that took off all my lipstick and my lip gloss. That was it. My fragrance recommendations for Shrinkflation, for answers to beautiful perfumes that are incredibly expensive and out of reach for many people. And I think these are really lovely alternatives, to the degree that I'm not going to keep a lot of these because they're just too similar to what I already own. And in one case, I might just keep this and get rid of Vert Malachite. I know. Ooh. But it's just that good, and it's easier to wear, I think, in the summer months, because Vert Malachite is a heavy, buttery, very ambery fragrance. So that was it. I hope you enjoyed your time with me. If I haven't mentioned your fragrance, your favorite affordable option to something really, really expensive that you have in your collection and you love, let us all know down in the comments below. Thanks again for sticking around. Thanks for watching. And I hope to see you on the next one.